When people think of genius, they often imagine someone buried in books, slowly uncovering secrets. But Nikola Tesla was different. He didn't just study ideas. He saw them. It was a dark and stormy night in 1856 in the small village of Smiljan. Thunder roared across the sky as lightning split the darkness again and again. Inside a modest home, a child was born. The midwife, frightened by the violent storm, whispered, "This child will be a child of darkness." But his mother calmly replied, "No, he will be a child of light." That child was Nikola Tesla, and in a strange way, both were right. From a very young age, Tesla showed signs that his mind worked differently. He didn't just imagine things, he experienced them. When someone described a machine, Tesla could see it in his mind as clearly as if it were right in front of him. He could rotate it, test it, and even fix problems, all inside his head. This ability became his greatest gift, and sometimes his greatest burden. Because along with these visions came flashes of light, intense dreams, and overwhelming thoughts that he could not control. Tesla often credited his mother, Nikola Tesla, for his genius. Though she never received formal education, she had an incredible memory and could invent small tools to make daily life easier. She could recite long poems and solve problems creatively. Tesla once said that everything he achieved came from her influence. His father, on the other hand, was a priest and wanted Tesla to follow a religious path. But Tesla had other plans. He wanted to understand the hidden forces of the universe. As Tesla grew older, his curiosity turned into obsession. He became fascinated with electricity. At that time, electricity was still mysterious and not fully understood. Many believed it was dangerous and uncontrollable. But Tesla saw something else. He saw possibility. He believed electricity could change the world. At the age of 17, Tesla became seriously ill. Cholera struck him, leaving him weak and close to death. For months, he lay in bed, barely able to move. His father, watching his son struggle, finally gave in to Tesla's passion. He promised, "If you survive, I will send you to study engineering." That promise changed everything. Tesla survived, and with that, his journey truly began. Tesla joined the Austrian Polytechnic Institute, where he studied electrical engineering. At first, he was an exceptional student. He studied day and night, barely sleeping, absorbing knowledge faster than anyone else. Professors admired him, but also feared him. Because Tesla didn't just accept ideas, he challenged them. At that time, electricity was being developed using something called direct current, DC. It was simple, but had one major flaw. It couldn't travel long distances efficiently. This meant electricity could not power entire cities. One day, during a lecture, Tesla heard about DC motors. Something didn't sit right with him. He stood up and boldly told his professor, "This system is inefficient. There is a better way." The professor laughed. He told Tesla it was impossible, but Tesla knew he was right. That night, Tesla had a vision. Not a dream, a vision. He saw a new type of electrical system, one that used alternating current, AC. Unlike DC, AC could travel long distances without losing power. It could light entire cities. It could change the world. And Tesla saw it all, perfectly, in his mind. Tesla's brilliance came at a cost. He worked endlessly, often skipping sleep for days. He became obsessed with perfection. He believed every idea had to be flawless before it could exist in the real world. While others built prototypes, Tesla built entire systems inside his mind first. This made him faster, but also isolated, because no one else could see what he saw. After finishing his studies, Tesla began working in Europe. He gained experience in electrical engineering, but he felt limited. The systems he worked on were outdated. He wanted to build something revolutionary, something the world had never seen. That's when he made a bold decision. He would go to America, the land of opportunity, the place where ideas could become reality. In 1884, Tesla arrived in New York with almost nothing. a few belongings, a letter of recommendation, and a mind full of ideas that could change the world. The letter was addressed to one of the most powerful inventors of the time, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was already famous. He had built a massive business around electricity, using direct current, DC. When Tesla joined him, it seemed like the perfect partnership. Edison had resources, Tesla had vision. But there was one problem. They saw the future very differently. Tesla believed in alternating current, AC. Edison believed in direct current, DC. Tesla wanted innovation. Edison wanted control. At first, Tesla worked hard under Edison, improving his systems. Edison even promised him a large reward if he could fix certain problems. Tesla succeeded, but when he asked for the reward, Edison laughed. "You don't understand American humor." That moment changed everything. Tesla realized something important. This was not just about invention. It was about power. Disappointed and betrayed, Tesla left Edison. He was now alone in a new country. No money, no support, no recognition. Just ideas. Brilliant, world-changing ideas. But ideas alone were not enough. For a time, Tesla struggled to survive. He worked manual labor jobs, digging ditches, doing physical work just to earn a living. Imagine that. A man who could power the world, reduced to digging in the dirt. But even then, he never gave up on his vision. Because deep inside, he knew his moment was coming. One day, Tesla met investors who believed in his ideas. They gave him a chance. A small chance, but it was enough. Tesla began working on his alternating current system. The very idea that Edison had rejected. The very idea that would soon shake the entire world. Nikola Tesla was no longer just a dreamer. He was becoming a force that would challenge the greatest inventor of his time, a force that would ignite one of the most famous battles in history, the War of Currents. Nikola Tesla was no longer just a struggling inventor. He had something powerful now, a chance. And in the world of innovation, sometimes one chance is all it takes to change history forever. After leaving Thomas Edison, Tesla found himself at rock bottom. But fate had other plans. He met a group of investors who believed in his idea of alternating current, AC. They didn't fully understand it, but they saw something in Tesla, something rare, something unstoppable. With their support, Tesla founded his own company and began developing his AC system, the very system that Edison had mocked. But this time, Tesla wasn't working for someone else. He was working for his vision. Just when Tesla needed it most, he met a man who would alter his destiny forever. George Westinghouse. Westinghouse was not just an engineer. He was a visionary businessman. And unlike Edison, he was open to new ideas. When Westinghouse saw Tesla's AC system, he immediately understood its potential. He knew this wasn't just an invention. This was the future of electricity. Westinghouse bought Tesla's patents and offered him a partnership. For the first time, Tesla had what he needed: financial support, resources, and someone who believed in him. Together, they began building an electrical system that could power entire cities. But there was a problem, a big one. Because while Tesla and Westinghouse were building the future, Edison was preparing for war. This wasn't a normal rivalry. This was a battle for control over the future of electricity. On one side, Edison and his direct current, DC. On the other, Tesla and Westinghouse with alternating current, AC. Edison had money, influence, and a powerful reputation. Tesla had truth, vision, and a better system. But in the world of business, truth doesn't always win easily. Edison knew that AC was more efficient, but accepting that would mean losing everything he had built. So instead of improving his system, he attacked Tesla's. He launched a massive campaign to convince people that AC was dangerous. Public demonstrations were held where animals were electrocuted using AC power. The message was clear. This is what Tesla's electricity will do to you. Fear spread quickly. People became terrified of AC. Tesla watched all of this happen, not with anger, but with quiet determination. Because he knew something Edison didn't. Truth doesn't need noise. It just needs time. Edison's campaign reached a shocking level when AC was used to power the first electric chair. The intention was simple: to associate Tesla's system with death. It was a brutal and strategic move. And for a moment, it worked. AC became known as dangerous and deadly. But Tesla refused to fight with fear. He chose a different path. Tesla decided to show the world the truth. In public demonstrations, he allowed high-frequency AC currents to pass through his own body. And something incredible happened. He wasn't harmed. He even lit lamps in his hands, without wires. The audience was stunned. This wasn't dangerous. This was magic. Tesla didn't just prove that AC was safe. He made people believe in it. In 1893, a massive opportunity appeared. The world's Columbian Exposition needed a company to light up the entire event. It was one of the biggest events in the world. Winning this contract would mean everything. Edison's company submitted a proposal using DC. Westinghouse, using Tesla's AC system, submitted another. And then, the decision was made. Westinghouse won. When the fair opened, something magical happened. For the first time in history, an entire city-like space was illuminated using alternating current. Thousands of lights turned on at once. The night became day. People were amazed. They had never seen anything like it. In that moment, the world realized. Tesla was right. AC was not just better. It was revolutionary. While the victory was historic, things were not perfect. Westinghouse's company faced financial difficulties. The competition had been expensive, and the pressure was building. There was one contract that could save everything: Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls was one of the most powerful natural energy sources in the world. The challenge was simple: convert that energy into electricity and deliver it to cities miles away. It had never been done before. Many believed it was impossible, but Tesla didn't, because he had already seen it in his mind. Tesla and Westinghouse were given the project. This was more than just a power plant. This was proof that AC could power the entire world. The pressure was intense. Failure was not an option. During this time, Westinghouse faced severe financial trouble. He could not afford to pay Tesla the royalties they had agreed upon. It was a difficult moment. Tesla had a choice: hold on to his contract and become extremely rich, or let it go and save the project. Tesla chose something unexpected. He tore up the contract. He gave up millions of dollars, just to ensure that his vision could survive. This decision cost him a fortune, but it gave the world something priceless. In 1895, the Niagara Falls power plant was completed, and when it turned on, history changed forever. Electricity flowed from Niagara Falls to the city of Buffalo. For the first time, power was transmitted over long distances efficiently. Tesla's dream had become reality. The war of currents was over, and there was a clear winner. Alternating current, AC, became the standard for electricity across the world. Edison's DC system slowly faded. Tesla had won. But unlike others, he didn't celebrate with pride or wealth. Because for Tesla, it was never about money. It was about changing the world. By now, Tesla was famous, respected, admired. But deep inside, he was already thinking ahead. Because AC was just the beginning. His mind was now focused on something even bigger: wireless energy. A world where electricity could be transmitted without wires. Free for everyone. Unlimited. It sounded impossible. But then again, so did everything Tesla had ever done. Tesla had defeated the greatest inventor of his time. He had powered cities, changed the world, and proven his genius. But his biggest dream was still ahead. Nikola Tesla had already done what most inventors could only dream of. He had defeated Thomas Edison in the war of currents. He had powered cities using alternating current. He had changed the future of electricity forever. But for Tesla, this was not the end. It was just the beginning. While the world celebrated his success, Tesla was already lost in new ideas. Bigger ideas. impossible ideas. He wasn't satisfied with lighting cities. He wanted to power the entire planet. Without wires, without limits, without cost. He believed electricity should be free for everyone, a gift to humanity. Tesla began working on one of his most ambitious visions: wireless transmission of energy. He imagined a world where electricity could travel through the air, reaching homes, cities, and even remote villages without cables. It sounded like science fiction, but to Tesla, it was real, because once again, he could see it clearly in his mind. To bring his vision to life, Tesla created one of his most famous inventions, the Tesla Coil, a device capable of producing high-voltage electricity and wireless energy transfer. During demonstrations, sparks of electricity would shoot into the air like lightning. Bulbs would glow without wires. The audience watched in disbelief. It looked like magic, but it was science, far ahead of its time. At the peak of his career, Tesla became a celebrity. People admired him. Newspapers wrote about him. He was seen as a genius, a magician, a man from the future. But fame did not bring him happiness, because Tesla was different. He didn't care about wealth or luxury. He cared about ideas. And slowly, something began to change. Tesla became more isolated. He avoided close relationships. He never married. He believed that his work required complete focus. He developed unusual habits, obsessions with cleanliness, numbers, and routines. He would walk around a building 3 times before entering. He would only use certain numbers. His mind, once his greatest strength, was becoming his prison. Tesla's greatest project began in the early 1900s. It was called the Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive structure designed to transmit wireless electricity across the Earth. Not just signals, not just communication, but actual power, free energy for the entire world. To fund this project, Tesla turned to one of the most powerful financiers of the time, J.P. Morgan. Morgan agreed to invest. At first, as construction of the tower progressed, problems began to appear. Tesla's ideas were too advanced, too expensive, too uncertain. And then Morgan realized something important. If Tesla succeeded, there would be no way to control or charge people for electricity. No profit, no business. So Morgan made a decision. He stopped funding the project. Without money, construction stopped. The Wardenclyffe Tower stood incomplete, silent, a symbol of a dream that the world was not ready for. Tesla tried to find new investors, but no one believed in the project anymore. The man who once powered cities could no longer fund his own ideas. As Tesla struggled, others rose. Inventors like Guglielmo Marconi began gaining recognition. Marconi successfully developed radio communication, and the world celebrated him. But what many didn't know was this: Marconi's work was built on Tesla's earlier research. Tesla had already imagined and experimented with wireless communication, but he didn't get the credit because he didn't chase fame. He chased the future. Years passed. Tesla's fame faded. His money ran out. He moved from hotel to hotel, often unable to pay his bills. The world slowly forgot the man who had once lit it up. But Tesla never stopped thinking, never stopped imagining. Even in his final years, he spoke of incredible ideas: wireless global communication, remote control machines, energy transmission through the Earth, even concepts that sounded like modern-day drones and the internet. The world called him mad. But today, many of those ideas are reality. On January 7th, 1943, in a quiet hotel room in New York, Nikola Tesla passed away. Alone, no family beside him, no wealth, no recognition equal to his genius, just silence. After his death, the world slowly began to understand who Tesla really was: a pioneer, a visionary, a man far ahead of his time. His contributions to electricity, radio, and technology were finally recognized. Today, Tesla is remembered as one of the greatest inventors in history. Even companies like Tesla Incorporated are named in his honor. Tesla didn't die rich. He didn't die famous. But he left behind something far greater, a world powered by his ideas. Every time you turn on a light, every time electricity travels across cities, you are witnessing Tesla's dream. Nikola Tesla's story is not just about science. It's about sacrifice, vision, and believing in something, even when the world doesn't. He once said, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine." And he was right, because today, we live in the future he imagined.